Hi, I'm Kara O, and this is another edition of Lip Smack and Love, and it's Singles Saturday, and I have my dating expert with me today, Jonathan Aslay, and his website is relationshipconfidants.com. And today we're going to talk about him and what he does, because he's doing online dating himself, plus he coaches about it, and he's looking for. You had 3 criterion: your best friend.
Oh, my best friend, my best lover, and really my partner in life.
And your partner in life, yeah. So he's looking, he's available.
Well, thank you.
So we kind of.
You live too far away from me, baby.
I'm too old too.
No, you're not.
I should set him up with my daughter. No, it's. Facebook has been something where I love Facebook. I spend a lot of time there, and I'm pretty active. I have several accounts. I have a private women's group for women who've read my books, and I give lots of. They get lots of my attention. If they ask a question, I'm right on it. Okay. So but within a day, they get responses usually, unless I'm in here filming with someone like you. But we met actually face to face.
Face to face.
I went to this event in L.A.
Yeah.
This is Santa Barbara, by the way.
Yeah.
Because a couple of Facebook women were there that I hadn't met.
Yeah.
And then you were sitting with them, and you had this wonderful energy. He just has the best energy.
Thank
and
you.
So we kind of got a little more acquainted on Facebook, and then I decided to have him come and share his. And he knows so much more and expresses him so much better than I thought before I invited him to come here to do these. So he's told me a lot about how he interacts and how Facebook plays into it, along with the online dating and Googling and all that stuff. Yeah. So just tell us what you know so that you ladies can realize this is what guys are doing, so you need to cover your butts.
And women are doing it too, I'll say.
Yeah, but, I've Googled guys, absolutely.
Well, and I also, we can talk about that in a moment. And I will say that I've enjoyed our interaction via Facebook. I'm having so much fun. Yeah. I love posting on your wall and vice versa. Fun. And interesting how Facebook, just in the last few years, has changed the dynamic of interacting with people. And, I mean, it started off, like, for me personally, it was about maybe reconnecting with high school friends. In fact, I reconnected with so many of my high school friends who I haven't seen each other in 10, 15, or 20 years. But I thought to myself, from a dating perspective, as a person who's online dating and as a relationship coach, a dating coach, is that oftentimes what you see in a dating profile, is not who they really are. Yeah. It's like, in some cases they try to put out their best resume. Right. Or they actually just do a really lousy resume.
Or they just lie through their teeth.
Exactly. So what happens is I've gotten pretty good at, if a woman who shares some basic information in her online profile, and she emails me and I get her name, and especially if I get her email address, her personal email address, I can then go into Facebook, type in that email address, or type in some bit of information. Maybe I'll Google it first. I'll do that too. Once I find their Facebook page, all of a sudden it tells me more about them, because that tends to be the more real person. Right. So I find out, wow, this woman I've been communicating with who says she's 39, and it turns out that on her Facebook page she graduated high school 50 years ago, or whatever. Excuse me. Not that
whatever. The math doesn't work.
The math doesn't work. That's the first thing. Or those pictures she posted, and then you look at them and they're candid pictures, and all of a sudden, wow, that's not the person I thought I was communicating with.
Absolutely.
And by the way, I'm not the only person doing this. I talk to women who do this. In fact, some of the women who I'm coaching do this better than I do.
Yeah.
So they know, they do the same thing with the men. They're looking at the men's profile. Oh my God, he looks so great in his Match.com profile, but his Facebook, he looks old, he looks decrepit and all this stuff, And so I think Facebook is going to change the dynamic of the way we interact with people in so many different ways. And from a dating perspective or an online dating perspective, I use it to get to know a person. Sure. And I've actually met a few women from Facebook on, let's say, a casual dating way. And I think that's probably going to change. I mean, that's going to probably evolve even more so. Sure. But I think definitely Facebook's a great way to get to know the real person.
It is, yeah.
There's certainly people like ourselves that use it from a business perspective if we have fan pages and whatnot. But from a social interaction, absolutely. And from a dating, you're getting to know more about that person.
I think
so be cognizant of that too. So if you have to be cognizant of what's on your Facebook page. And by the way, this also goes in your professional life. I've heard businesses. will look at your Facebook page to see what you're doing. When you didn't show up to work on Monday, and on Sunday you were out partying with your friends, and you've got all these pictures posted, or you're out of town on vacation and you're just, randomly, or even if you're Twittering, and you're saying, oh, I just went on this trip, blah, 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 but you told your boss you were sick. So understand that this is now a microscope into your life.
Absolutely.
And so whether it's dating, whether it's your professional life or whatnot, it's definitely, and it's taken away our privacy too.
It has, and that's good. There's the good and the bad of that, because there's more. You're more real, and that's nice.
I love that about it.
Yeah,
like your own personal, it's telling the world about you.
That's right.
I like it.
Well, the one thing for Facebook, it's about friends first, and that's why I don't look at it as my business thing. It's like, no, this is about friends, and it's about interacting and creating a relationship with people.
Exactly.
And now, I love putting thought-provoking, sometimes controversial
updates
and getting these comments. And then when you're, you can see how people think with the comments, so that if maybe somebody you're kind of interested in, there's a consistency or not.
Yes.
Consistency, we haven't even talked about that. That's like really important, that the person keeps showing up the same way,
absolutely.
Especially women, we can be so all over the map. The guy gets freaked out if one week you're one way and the next week you're the other way.
Yeah.
And, it's like, okay.
Well, we can't figure it out.
Quit eating sugar if you got PMS, I don't have much sympathy with it. But, as friends, you can see how they interact on the walls. You can, that chat thing, I turn mine off because I can't get anything done. But the chat feature, you can chat on it and have a little conversation. Then you can do the private messages where you can, kind of get where you don't want everybody else to see what you're doing.
Well,
it's
you
really
just
lovely.
made me think of something, because I was actually communicating with someone from a dating website, and I suggested she go to my Facebook page, and she comments, she goes, well, your site's all women. I go, well, I happen to be in a profession where I'm coaching women, so most of those women are women who want to maybe interact with me from a professional standpoint. But she kind of got offended by it. And so let's take the flip side of that.
Yeah.
I go to a woman's site. I see that she's got nothing but men. Or she's got men who, like...
And they're all hunky.
Yeah, they're hunky. Or all they're doing is they've got their shirts off. Or they got tattoos on their arms.
They don't ever get... I never friend the guys without the shirt.
Really?
Never.
Yeah.
Never. It's like, give me a break.
But when I see that as a person, I'll look at that and I go, you know what? She's probably not right for me.
She's collecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the things I look at. I'm very intuitive, and that's who I coach my clients to be more intuitive. Read into this.
Yes.
Understand the makeup and dynamics behind it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's a little bit about Facebook and Googling and the Internet and, showing up in the way that you want to be perceived.
Yes.
And I think the more authentic you are, then it's kind of like when you're lying, you kind of can't keep track.
Yeah.
Just be yourself, but be your most magnificent self.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about. And then you glow, and you're attractive, and you get choices. You get choices.
Absolutely.
So that's it for today. I'm Kara O with Jonathan Aslay, and we are wishing you lots of lip smack and love. Mwah!